Hello, everyone, and welcome to Our Ventura TV. I'm Sandra Siepak. On today's show, I'd like to welcome Dr. Noelle Nelson. She is a clinical psychologist and author of over a dozen books, including The Longevity Secret, How to Live Happy, Healthy, and Vibrant into Your 70s, 80s, and 90s and Beyond. She also has a podcast called Up, Uplifting, Inspiring, and Practical. Thank you so much, Dr. Nelson, for joining us today on the show.
Thank you, Sandra.
Very good. What prompted you to kind of research and focus on those over 55? And what did you learn?
My goodness. Well, it's actually an odd story, which is I travel a great deal for business.
Okay.
I was on a plane and the flight attendant said, power down your devices. Okay. And the young man sitting next to me with his earbuds firmly planted in was paying no attention as he texted away. So I leaned over and I said, excuse me, flight attendant, power down your device. He ignored me. Okay. But then we're taxiing down the runway and I'm thinking, this is not good. So more loudly this time, I say, excuse me, but you've got to power your device down. Your cell's frequencies could interfere with the pilot's frequencies. It's not safe. And he looked at me and said, what would you know? You're old.
Ooh.
I know. And I said to him, if you're lucky, if you're very, very lucky, you'll get to be old like me, who was just turning 60. But that got me thinking, Sandra, is it true? Do we automatically after 60, 70 turn into these stupid, inept, decrepit non-people?
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Exactly. And that's what started my research because I'm a scientist first and foremost. Okay. And I got increasingly fascinated.
Good for you. You mentioned in your information that is printed, passion, purpose, and positivity being key to happiness. What a great thought that is.
Well, it's more than a thought, Sandra. What I found in researching now almost 700 amazings, which is what I call people in their 70s, 80s, 90s, and hundreds doing amazing things currently. What I found is it didn't matter if they were rich or poor, educated, not educated, any ethnicity, any religiosity, it didn't make a darn bit of difference as long as they had passion for something, meaning really, really loved doing something, had a purpose attached to it, and had a generally positive attitude towards themselves, towards others, and towards life.
And I do want to mention that is a Facebook page that you have talking about the amazings. It's really incredible seeing all the different people over 70 that do such amazing things with their life. And they haven't given up. They're going strong. So it's a really incredible thing to watch. It is important to do what you love and, enjoy things. And so that you're vital and that you're out there and that you're participating in life and being there. And finding your passion and fulfillment is something you really stress.
Absolutely. And what's interesting is it doesn't matter whether it's growing tomatoes or weightlifting. There's a 100-year-old female weightlifter, 100 years old.
Wow.
And most of these people don't even start doing what they're doing till they're over 60. And you don't even have to be in good health. One of my favorite examples is Ron Roberts, who at 80 was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, taught himself French and Spanish because he thought, I'm not going to let this get to me. And at 85, enrolled in a university degree in political science, still going strong. So it just shows, it doesn't matter what. People have, hips replaced, knees replaced, everything you want to name replaced and so forth. As long as they have a passion for something, a purpose, and are positive about whatever, they thrive.
And I'd like to get your take on this. A lot of people start to give up in their later years. They just seem very to a point where they say, well, what does it matter? So how do you deal with that?
Oh my goodness. As long as you're breathing, it matters.
Good.
I think really this is something that starts when we're younger, because if you look at infants, babies, toddlers, they're passionate. They don't care what anybody thinks of what they're doing. Right. If they're interested in it, they go for it 1,000%. So that's where we have to not give up. As long as there's breath left in our body, then go find something you like to do. And it can literally be a vegetable garden, volunteering at the SPCA. It doesn't matter what it is, or getting a degree.
Okay.
Whatever it is that turns you on. Now, the thing most people do is they give up after 3 weeks.
Oh,
Did you know that?
okay.
Most people trying something new, whether it's Zumba or playing the cello or whatever, will give up because after 3 weeks, they haven't become, I don't know, mega whatever, right?
Okay.
No, you've got to stick with things usually for about 3 months
Nice.
to find out if you really like it
Okay.
and if it fits for you. And if it doesn't, guess what? Turn the corner, there'll be something else.
Right. And you also mentioned in your material, stay connected because humans are social creatures. So
Yes.
it's really important to get out and be with people that are fun, that enjoy what you like to do, so that you're connected. And I'd like you to elaborate on that a little bit.
Well, our contemporary society has made that more and more easy to do
Okay.
because if you're homebound for illness or whatever reason, there's
Right.
Zoom,
Right.
God bless it. And if not, there's things like Meetup, and there's all sorts of volunteer organizations which are always in need of people. There's
Always.
book clubs, there's art classes, I'm a dancer, I dance, there's people there. There's
Good.
people all over the place. You just have to take that first step out your front door.
Right. And as you talk about in your book, attitude is everything, regardless of
Yes.
your age. You don't even have to be a senior, just every age should be attitude is everything.
Yes, attitude is absolutely everything. The way you look at yourself, first and
Good.
foremost, the way you look at life, and the way you look at others. The more that you have a positive focus, in other words, I could focus on my wrinkles, frankly, Sandra. I've got wrinkles, all right? And instead I go, hey, I'm still moving.
Good.
That's, if you will, an
That's
easy,
great. And,
simple example.
I do want to talk a little bit about the Facebook page that you have, which is The Amazings. And all these people that you feature and that their stories come to life, literally. And they are well over 55. And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
doing such amazing things. How do you get to that point though? How do you push yourself to do that?
You don't push yourself. I'm so glad that you brought that up, Sandra. You
Okay.
let yourself be pulled by your passion. See, that's the key is you've got to find something that you are interested in. And
Okay.
it could be writing a book. It doesn't matter what it is. Let yourself be pulled by it, like you are by this show. This
Sure.
pulls you. You
Right.
don't push yourself to do it. It pulls you.
No, I
And so
love what I do.
there you have it. And it's the
Right.
answer whether you're 2, 20, 72, or 92. It doesn't
Sure.
matter. 94-year-old Japanese surfer out there, for heaven's sake. Really? I'm going, wet water, cold? No, thank you. Not
Right.
my passion. His passion. Yeah.
So, in closing, what would you say to our viewers out there over 55, who really just would like to do more, would like to be a bit more in touch with things, and have people give them a lot of credit for their age? What would you say to them?
I would say stop focusing on your age. In other
Okay.
words, that's really irrelevant, number one.
Okay.
Secondly, look around. This is a very big world. Even our community, our communities are, in a sense, big worlds. Look for people who are doing things that you've always thought, that could be interesting. I've never kayaked. Maybe I could kayak.
Okay.
Whatever. Go find people who are doing something and talk to them.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you talk on the phone, if you email, whatever. Talk to them and say, well, how'd you get into it? What does it take? Do you like it? Go do a little bit of it. See if it fits. If it doesn't, move on.
I think that's very practical advice, and hopefully our viewers will certainly look at that and learn from that as well. So I want to thank you, Dr. Noelle Nelson, for sharing your expertise and more on optimal aging with us today. Hopefully, many people would take what you had to say to heart, and we want to wish everybody out there a long, good, happy life, as you mentioned in your book.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Very good.
Sandra.
Well, thank you so very much. And thank all of you for joining us today on OurVentura TV. I'm Sandra Siepak. See you next time. Bye, everyone.